Are you trying to quit tobacco? I can help you use Brown Bear Herbs herbal smoking blends to quit tobacco. Once you're done with tobacco, you will choose whether you want to smoke or not. I'm Lily. I've been an herbalist for around 20 years, and I'm happy to share my information with you. We have 3 smoking blends that I want to talk to you about today. Take It Easy is great for quitting tobacco because you are physically dependent on it. So even if you really relate to the other smokes, I would try Take It Easy first. And what I would do is prepare to quit cold turkey from your tobacco and get 3 or 4 packs of Take It Easy so that you can plan to have 2 or 3 cigarettes a day for the first week or so. So with Take It Easy, we have lobelia, skullcap, catnip, mullein, and rose. Mullein is in all of our blends, and it's for your lungs. And that's an herb that has been historically used, not just used, but smoked for lung health. I don't encourage smoking, but I find, you might think that's funny because I sell cigarettes, but actually, I'm trying to help people smoke less and smoke better if they're going to smoke at all. I have very sensitive lungs. I'm a former asthmatic. I find that if I try to smoke any herb without mullein in it, I am in pain. It feels like cats are scratching at my lungs. So I feel like that makes me a very good tester for any of these things. And so I recommend, if you are smoking, add a little mullein into whatever you're smoking. So if you are gonna smoke some tobacco, try adding in a little bit of mullein, your MJ, mullein, playing around with new blends, mullein, and we sell that on our shop too, brownbearherbs.com. So the other herbs in there, catnip and skullcap, are good for that irritability that you might experience as you're going through tobacco withdrawal, you're jonesing, and you're just getting all cranky and stuff, and that can calm that down. Lobelia, you might have heard of. It's often used to help with nicotine withdrawal. The chemicals in it interact with the same neurotransmitters as tobacco, so it gives you a little bit of that fix feeling without having to restart your tobacco addiction or have any addiction. This is not a blend that you want to mix with tobacco. That's why I recommend quitting cold turkey. I do know people who have successfully used it to space out their cigarettes, their tobacco cigarettes. So in that case, I would say, if you slip and have a tobacco cigarette, then just wait as long as possible, hours, and then have a Take It Easy and see how long you can push out till the next one. But if you're going to do that, please just try to not smoke any tobacco, and your body will thank you. You'll get through it. The herbs will help. And then the rose is in there because many people smoke tobacco consciously or unconsciously, to kind of cloud their heart. It feels a little bit like a shield around your heart to do that, and it's damaging to your heart chakra, not to mention your physical heart, to smoke. So the rose in there is to help do some energetic medicine for your heart chakra and get you feeling like you have thorns to protect you. You can still open your heart and be seen. That's a nice thing about roses. They're being seen for who they are all the time, but they're still protected because people can't just grab at them or try to take advantage of them because they're going to get scratched. So it's a beautiful medicine. And then once you've gotten past that hurdle of the primary problem with quitting tobacco being your bodily cravings, then you can switch over to another cigarette like Clear Mind, which is great for people with ADHD and or anxiety. That one I created for artists and creatives who smoke while they work, like the classic writer who's just going at it all day and tap, tap, tap. So if that's you, or you have focus issues, anxiety issues, Clear Mind is wonderful because it gives you that sense of calm and centeredness. I feel like it gives you post yoga vibes. I love it. And it really is good if you need to focus on a mental task that's not your favorite. So I do a lot of meditation and yoga, so I have post yoga vibes a lot, but if I want to do my bookkeeping, that's when I might reach for a clear mind. The nice thing about the herbs is that we're not looking at an addiction arc where you like have your addictive substance and then it drops off. Instead, what you're getting is the herbal medicine, the herbs that are good for calming that like energy. So you can smoke a lot less. You might even enjoy smoking a puff or two, and then you're good for that day. Who knows? So try it out and experiment. For Clear Mind, the herbs in there are mulligan, gotu kola, linden, and spearmint. So if you like menthol, then this blend has a bit of a menthol feel to it. It does not have that chemical mint quality in it that a menthol has. So it's a feeling of that cooling energy rather than like mint taste. It does not have mint taste. And that's because it's the dried herb and it's natural. Linden and gotu kola and spearmint, they work together to help clear out extra emotions that can be getting in the way of like clarity of thought. They help with working memory, and there's a lot of things that you can do to get rid of the static, improve memory, and like decrease like the general load on your mind, because anxiety can create this like background level load. So whereas other people might be just like doing their bookkeeping, you're doing your bookkeeping plus thinking about the future and worrying all about all sorts of things, or getting distracted because you have some like heat in your body, which linden is very cooling. Clear Mind is a really beautiful blend. I find that it's been the most popular in the last few years. The main feedback I get is just so many people saying that it helps with their anxiety and their focus. So I would love to hear your experiences. Again, it is going to be like mint vibes rather than mint flavor, and it has a light, neutral smoke to it. Take It Easy is a little bit heavier. Try that once in a while if you're feeling like focus problems, and let me know what your experience is. And if you are an emotional person or emotionally sensitive person, or a psychically sensitive person, there's so many of us out there. We're feeling overwhelmed. I fall into this category sometimes, but I tend to just retreat into my house. But not everybody can just be a hermit. If you're an emotionally or psychically sensitive person, gentle and protective is wonderful for you to help get off of tobacco. So you can do this two ways. If you're a person who's more interested in weaning off of tobacco and you have this quality about yourself, then of this like over this emotional sensitivity, psychic sensitivity quality, then one thing that you can do is roll your own and gradually use less tobacco and more gentle and protective. And they're really nice together, but the goal is to get off of tobacco because you don't need an addiction. And there are other herbs that can support you better, giving you a sense of like protection, which tobacco has been traditionally used for. There's just problems with it because it's addictive, and the people that sell the most tobacco in our world are adding in a bunch of chemicals and nasty stuff for your body to make them more addictive and just like destroy your life. Not your friends. So yeah, you can try that weaning, or if you've already gone through the Take It Easy thing, then just switch to gentle and protective, and it's awesome. With gentle and protective, this one is made from raspberry leaf, lavender, and mullein. And in this case, the mullein is acting as in its protective role as well. It has that energetic property of being protective and helping you discern yourself more from your environment. And then raspberry leaf is like, I think of it as like a fairy godmother hug. It is like a really sweet energy, and it has a very different effect when you smoke it than when you drink it as a tea. In both cases, it's calming and like soothing, but in the tea, it's much more physical in feeling, and this is affecting through the smoke. It is affecting your like mental and energetic areas more, and emotional areas of your life. So that's a very sweet herb to smoke. So raspberry leaf is a very sweet herb to smoke, and then lavender is adaptogenic, so it has balancing properties for stress. And it's a really cool herb because it, if you're feeling anxious, it can be calming. If you're feeling like kind of torpor, like you don't have the energy to get out of bed because you're blue, then it can be energizing. And it is also used to help with sleep for people who have problems going to sleep because they're too psychically sensitive. So that is a really good herbal smoke if you're going through a tough emotional time, like if you've had a loss that's significant, or you're going through a dark period emotionally for some other reason. And also, like, I was thinking of kind of anyone from like woo-woo people to people with schizophrenia for this smoke. Yeah, this is definitely the smoke to reach for if you've had a big emotional setback and let's say you've already quit tobacco. This is the one to have on hand so that you don't relapse. I would say that's the main way that people use it. Or you could take it easy and gentle and protective at the same time if you decide you're trying to quit tobacco while you're going through a very difficult time, which is, it sounds like a lot to burden yourself with when you're dealing with a loss or some other big deal. But it can be a good time to kind of change everything up when you have to deal with one kind of change. And that is the message of adventuring. Adventuring is a gem essence that we have in the shop. If you're not familiar with essences, I'm super into them, and I feel like people who are into smoking herbs will be into them too. And that's because if you're interested in smoking different herbs and trying out new experiences, because the different cigarettes have different subtle experiences that they give you, then you'll probably enjoy the subtle shifts that happen, and sometimes not so subtle shifts that happen when you try different essences and bring them into your water. So you're basically coating your water. And adventuring is all about like new pathways and like making new patterns and stuff. So adventuring's advice is actually, if you have to change a job, that's also a great time to change your diet and your exercise routine and just like change everything. Or if you have to move, or if you had a death in your family or something, like that's a good time to just like recreate new patterns. And it kind of makes sense because your patterns are being disrupted as it is. And if you're dealing with loss, then you might not want to do the same things every day because they remind you of that person that you're no longer with. So I would say, well, no one wants to deal with loss. It is a part of life, and it can be an opportunity for creating great change. So we're here to support you, and definitely getting rid of tobacco can be part of that new beginning. So check out our products and other videos at brownbearherbs.com, and please drop comments and let me know what you're thinking and if this makes sense. And if not, like, I'd love to share with you more about things that will be clarifying and set you on a life and path that is more in line with who you really are, because that is my favorite thing to see. And I'm also here for herbal consultations. So reach out if you're having any kind of physical health problems, and I treat people with all different herbs and tinctures for all sorts of problems. But I love looking at people holistically, and that includes like, what are your life goals and how are you feeling and stuff like that. Again, I hope you have a great day, and check out brownbearherbs.com.